isn't going to come back or isn't going to do what you want. You then chase after him and do such a piss poor job. He gets away. And then you catch up with him in the Capitol building. You can see where my mind's on that for whatever reason. Gee, I wonder why. And all you do is literally pretty much leap off the reviewing stand there, the gallery, and fall to your death in about a 2-second fight after chasing him across the ruins of America. Your useless ass shows up and you fall off a balcony and die. That's the entirety of your story arc right there. You're useless. What the hell, man? You're the guy who's supposed to keep the society young, and that's all you got in it.
There was, oh man, because I've only seen that a couple of times, but like the scenario you're talking about, like at the beginning they don't really build him up as being that stupid.
No, he's actually supposed to be the smarter of the couple.
Right, all these villains are portrayed as smart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be the alpha in that particular setup. Like he's the seasoned, no one's supposed to be above 30, though everyone who shot it was well above 30. But what could you do? He's supposed to be the streetwise cop. Like he's the one who can, who knows when the guy's going to run. Like he's got the sixth sense, right? That
that pull the guy over. That goes back to. I'm so glad you said streetwise. I'm so glad you continue to use that because think about who's in the writing room and who thought what streetwise meant.
Oh yeah.
Because always during that time, it's no longer frustrating. I stopped being frustrated with it right around the age of like 20, 21. Now it is completely hilarious. Every single time during this time period and before, I would say the 60s and 70s and a little bit of the 80s, streetwise always came down to the worst stereotype of jive you can think of in any version. So to Francis 5, I'm with you. Like they tried to make him a little bit more edgy and hip, but at the same time, he's still super white. So it's like, how you get there? I don't know.
Sucker.
Excuse me.
That's the only thing he's missing. That's the only thing. I always felt
right on.
I'm with you, Josh. I always felt the computer was just kind of like, you know what? Let both of you fucking die.
I don't give a shit.
You'll figure it out. Yeah, you'll figure it out. I got this whole thing going on over here. You two just go figure it out.
All right.
Enter the Dragon. Although my whole problem with him,
keep going.
Similar to what we've been saying, or what I've been saying, was my biggest problem being waste. My whole problem with Han and Enter the Dragon is that's the best you can do with a private island. That's the best you can do with a private army. That's come on, man. That's complete waste. Either go full party route and have a kick-ass Paradise Island, or maybe some people have to get roughed up, whatever. Or go full, military despot with the army you got and like really kick it up a notch. Don't lose to freaking one person. So that, and then I'll jump real fast to Carrie. Actually, no, I'll leave those guys second. Last. Wayland Yutani from Alien. Wayland Yutani from Alien.
Ah.
You guys have the capability of interstellar travel, yet you are still going to be so caught up in greed that you're just going to skip past every safety protocol, have your damn android be ready to bring back any specimen just so you can be the first ones to profit off of it. I feel like you could have pulled that off a number of different ways. Like, I don't know, maybe have the crew come back, tell you exactly what was going on, and then send everything else out there. He clearly got the capabilities.
A scouting mission.
Right? I don't know. And we can get into that a little bit later, but and then Carrie. All right, hear me out on this, because this is a problem, and it really leads into where we are now in the world. These high school kids, these freaking idiots, don't even understand that they have a mutant level individual in their grasp. So what do? They piss this kid off. They're so stupid. They don't understand that they have someone with superpowers right within them. who all that person wanted to do was be loved. They could have had literally a freaking superpower best friend in their clique, but oh no, they're so dumb, they're so stupid that all they do is just get themselves massacred. And I'm telling you right now, the ones who actually made it out of there are the type of people that will go on to run governments, that will run profit into the ground for no damn reason. Because you don't know what you have, and all you care about is just being so fucking vain.
Doesn't that sound just a lot like what we've been seeing lately? I mean,
that's why I said it leads into now. Like, I honestly feel like half the kids who made out that survived Carrie basically became, and I don't want to say, I want to keep it anti-political as best as possible, but let's just say they had run of things for the last 4 to 5 years.
Might have had a particular wardrobe choice.
Yeah, and they still are following someone who has really bad hair. That's all. But still, how'd you guys miss this? You literally had someone who had telekinesis power to like huge levels. Could have easily worked out in your favor. But no. You just don't like her stringy hair and the fact that she's from a poor family, which is another thing. No one else from that high school is from a poor family. No one else in the popular crew was from a poor family. I saw that town. Y'all saw that town. Half that town was poor. She's the only one that came from a poor family. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, and she didn't know what was happening when she had her period. So just, separated it.
Because every teenage girl is equipped with it.
Yeah, some of the many awkward moments brought to you by Stephen King. What can I tell you? He did like
there's a lot of literature about the metaphors about in Carrie, and you can get lost in it. Honestly, you can get lost in it. There's a lot about being a woman, about being a teenager, and a lot of that's part of the point. Like the metaphors in that movie are really, really thick, and her having that power, you know what I mean? That kind of destructive rage that she just has. It's like, what else would you do with that power? What else would you, it's just destructive power for the most part.
Not necessarily. She had shown multiple capacities of being able to just use the power. It didn't have to be destructive.
Well, think of it this way. What is most likely you're going to do with that power?
That's not for me to decide, but that's the same thing as arguing because fire can absolutely destroy something. There's no positive use of fire.
Right.
Well, she would. I mean, that would again go into the bigger question of, would she would need a Professor X?
Well, yes.
For sure.
Yeah. She would need a Professor Xavier.
Still, all I'm saying is you're 17 years old. You have a friend who can knock down walls. You're not getting liquor. You're not getting you're not getting clothes. You're not just living the life. Like, we're talking the 70s. There weren't like security cameras all over the place.
Of course.
You could have easily racked up.
Yep.
No, that makes some sense. All right, Greg, round us out real quick.
Video games at the arcade. Hit this.
I'm going to go proper, and I'm going to do one. It might be a little bit of a surprise for you guys, but, stop and think about it. Lex Luthor, Superman.
On my list.
I
went over it. All right. I totally see it.
Just shouldn't be too much detail needed, but real estate?
I know.
Real estate.
All that just to make real estate in California, no less.
Really? Okay. It was
billions of dollars now.
What's that?
Billions of dollars now.
So, yeah, but I mean, if you have all of this, just steal money.
Yeah, exactly.
You have all of that, just
you put together
money
a scheme to hijack a nuclear. Gonna say that properly? Nuclear missile.
Right.
Launch it to create an earthquake.
Yeah.
All of that, like you say, you can't rob a bank just to.
And it was actually beneath Lex Luthor, because at that time Lex Luthor in the comics was pretty badass.
Right.
Lex Luthor kind of always reflects the evil of the day,
Yes.
whatever that may be. And that point in the 70s, he was definitely becoming that evil capitalist, and that was what he was doing. Like, he was trying to manipulate markets. He was always trying to, hold people hostage. Again, you can just hold a country hostage. You have a nuclear weapon. You can do whatever the fuck you want. There's a lot of things you could have done instead of this. And especially since you were going up against an unknown, like, you don't know enough about Superman to just be like, oh, I'm just going to tie you to this kryptonite and leave. Just going to go. Just going to assume you died, and I'm just going to walk away. I can see clearly that you are still alive, alien that fucking flies.
I'm totally with you, Greg, because in the sense
but I'm just going to go.
Yeah, just hang out. Well, I'm totally with you in the sense that they already established that Superman is not going to take care of all crime on Earth, even within that fantasy realm. So to me, Lex Luthor was an idiot because, dude, why do you keep tugging on his cape? You could literally get everything that you're talking about in this world. Just stay away from Superman. Yeah. Why do you keep fucking with this dude? Let him go. He's just going to stop muggers if you let him go. So just get away from him.
Well, he can't, because, again, the comic book is what he has to, with his intellect, beat Superman.
Right. I'm with you.
Superman.
And my point is, if you're that smart, you're not. So just get what you want and move the fuck on.
Yeah.
Like every other criminal in that world at that moment.
Don't stop. Actually, why would you even commit a crime in Metropolis? Like, I'm moving.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to move to a place that doesn't have a superpowered alien taking care of it, like Philadelphia. No one gives a shit about Philadelphia.
Right next door.
And with that, I think we've wound up our job interview today, and we'll be in touch. I think we're going to say to all of our villains here from the 1970s.
Right.
We'll give you a call. We'll let you know how that's going. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to gavel this meeting of the Steam Gentlemen to a close. Starchild, Greg, thank you so much for joining us today.
As always, a pleasure, man. A pleasure. I hope that we do, the 80s are also going to be just as much fun.
No, absolutely. We got it. You can't be talking about the 70s and not talk about the 80s, and even go into the 90s here. So, and see where it's going here for at least nostalgia's sake. Mr. RaShaun, the 3 of clubs, what you got on for the rest of the day?
Just find another deck to ruin.
There we go. Like I say, 18, man. Got to go for that 18.
I'm either bringing a party or a funeral. That's all it's going to be.
All right. And with that, I'm going to ride off into the sunset here and remind you all, keep your heat high and keep that head of steam on.